First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. Thanks for joining us. We are live here from the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. We do this every weekday starting at 1 p.m., going throughout the afternoon, covering a wide range of topics. I recommend downloading the Fox 12 Oregon app. Great way to watch us live and after the fact. Today, though, we're going to be showing my conversation with Kamau Bell. Now, he's a comedian. He's a multiple Emmy winner. He's got a Peabody Award. He was the host of United Shades of America on CNN. And he is a Celebrity Jeopardy winner. We're going to talk about all of that stuff during this interview. And just full disclosure on top of that, I've known Kamau for a very long time. He's a great dude. And he's going to be here in town at the Aladdin Theater on June 28th for a show and going back to stand-up. So his first stand-up tour in several years. We cover all of that in the interview. So let's just jump right into it. Kamau, how you doing?
All right. Just out here in America. Looking forward to coming up there.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk all about, your tour, everything else that's going on. But the first thing I got to bring up, though, is Celebrity Jeopardy. Oh, wow. Dude, I mean, I know you've got Emmys, you got a Peabody, you have all these awards and everything, but you're a Celebrity Jeopardy champ. I mean, that's amazing.
No, I'd like to act like it's not cool, but it's real cool. And also,
no, it's super cool.
You've known me since before I had any of those things, so I appreciate you charting the progress. But yeah, no, they invited you. I mean, they invited me to be on, and at first I was like, "Oh, I'm a celebrity, cool." And then I went down for the first one, and it was like 9 o'clock on a Sunday morning, and I was like, I just don't want to embarrass myself and have some fun. And then I ended up winning that first one. And here's what people don't realize: the second one is taped later that same day. So people are like, "Did you study?" I was like, I had a burrito and took a nap between the first and the second episode. And I think I took the nap because I had the burrito. And then the finals was a few weeks later. And by then I was like, well, I got here by not studying. I don't want to mess that up. So I didn't, it's not that I'm that smart, but I just take in a lot of information. I'm an only child. I'll read the back of a cereal box. I'm just that kind of person.
Oh, yeah. No, I kind of do that same thing. Like, I go down all kinds of different Wikipedia holes, but it would probably, none of mine would help me out in that situation. It would just be some random fact about, I don't know.
I don't know, man. I killed
Northern Thailand or something, or some random, Wikipedia hole I went down.
Yeah, no, I don't know, man. I killed a category that was all about Charles Darwin. I was like, I didn't know I knew any of that. There's actually one where the answer was, what is Shintoism? I was like, I don't even know what Shintoism is, and I'm the one who answered, what is Shintoism?
Do you just get into the zone when you're doing it? Because I've auditioned for it. I have not made it on. I was on the set of Celebrity Jeopardy once years ago and got to meet Alex Trebek, but which was amazing. But I mean, do you just get into the zone while you're doing it?
Well, yeah, you try to get into a Zen no mind space, and you sort of have to. It's like what they say about cornerbacks in the NFL. You have to have a short memory. So when you miss one, it's easy to get caught up. Like, I can't believe I didn't know that. So you have to just let it go. I think and you also have to focus on the button and get very sort of Zen no mind about the button, because if you ring it too early, they lock you out. So even if you know the answer, it doesn't matter. And so you have to hit it at the exact right moment to ring in. That's the button is the whole thing. The button is literally the whole thing.
So you have to hit it. We don't have to do the whole interview about this, but I am fascinated. So
to do it.
So the button, so you can't hit it early. If you start reading the question, I know that.
There's a light that we can see from the stage that basically coincides with the end of Ken Jennings reading it. So you have to wait till that light, I think, either goes out and then you can ring in. But the problem is that Ken is reading it. He's doing the right thing. He's reading it at such a pace that you're like, hurry up and get to the end. Hurry up and get to the end. And so you get excited and you ring it early, and then they freeze you out for a few seconds, but long enough that if somebody else knows it, you're cooked. So there's really a lot to prepare. You have to sort of. I found that when I got to a sort of a, you can't be totally not anxious, but you can't be totally. You have to be in a sort of a properly anxious state, which is good in this era of America because I'm properly anxious.
Yeah, I think so. Well, let's talk about that. So out on tour here again. When was the last time you were out on a full tour like this?
I mean, it's been since my last Netflix special, Private School Negro, which came out in 2018. So I think 2017 was the last time I did a real proper around the States comedy tour.
I think that's the last time. Yeah, because I believe you came through Portland on that one.
I did. Yeah, I did 2 shows at the Aladdin back then. I was big back then.
yeah. No, I went there and saw you there at the Aladdin. And yeah, we hung out at that one. But So let's think about this. So that's the last time you've gone. I mean, what's gone on even that you even have to talk about since then?
It's really just sharing pictures of my kids. Just sharing. I mean, the funny thing is, I thought I would go back out on tour in 2020 when there was an election year, and then COVID had different plans. And so for a while, I thought I was retired. Like I was really like, I'm doing other things. I don't really want to be in small confined spaces with people breathing in my face anymore, thanks to COVID. So I thought I was retired. And then last year, a couple of things happened. One thing in particular where this long con that I played on my kids finally came true. It came like they finally, I was able to reveal the long con, and I was like, oh, if I was a stand-up, I would tell that on stage right now. And so that thing started itching at me in the back of my head. I was like, I got to tell this story, and it's a story that I tell in the show that Portland can come see on June 28th.
Nice. So, I mean, what's it been like getting it back out there? You know, I mean, going to these different places, and we can talk about what you're going to be doing today too, but just, you know, going back out on the road and doing this after you thought maybe you were going to be retired.
I mean, it's a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. I mean, people sort of, especially my fans, sort of like to see me up close and find out I'm a real person. And so there's really a sense of like, it's almost like a group hug session. And they also need somebody to put into words what they're feeling and experiencing in ways that they can't necessarily put into words. And so for me, it's like a great way to sort of like marshal the troops together before we send everybody out into the streets to try to do this work. So, and it's also a way to like, it's been a long time since I was on the road. So like I got 3 kids. Last time I was on the road, I had 2 kids. Like now I got 3 kids. And we've had 2 Trump presidencies. So there's just a lot. For me, it's also fun to just be writing topically. Like right now I got shows tonight at the Berkeley Rep here in Berkeley, California. And I brought a new notebook because I was like, it was a big weekend. I think I need a new notebook. So yeah, so it's also good to just work out the new stuff.
I was going to say, yeah, going on tour like that and doing so much topical stuff. I mean, every day is something completely new and sometimes horrific, you know, whatever's going on in the world.
And you have to get used to throwing jokes away that you're like, I still like that joke, but Elon's not even a member of the White House anymore. Like, so it's like
it's old news now, yeah.
Yeah, it's old news. That whole great bit I had about Elon being the president doesn't really work anymore.
So it's just constantly updating and changing that up. You know, well, you mentioned, you know, your crowd, your fans, you know, and getting to be back in these places where you are interacting with them, and as you mentioned, they like to come up and see you up close or whatever. You know, what is that like, getting that kind of interaction again? Now that you've been away from it for so long.
It's funny. There's really been a shift in how people talk to me after shows. Like for years, I mean, when I met you, I was just a guy trying to be a known comedian, and then I got known for United States of America. And so for years, I was the Ku Klux Klan guy. Like people would see me and be like, you're the guy, I love that thing you did, da, 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 da. And that was great, but it was also hard to deal with in airports. People would yell it across the terminal. But like, it was just sort of what people knew me for. The thing that has happened now, and maybe it's because I've been out of people's view for a little bit, there's a body of work now that people will talk to me about, which is really cool because it could be like United Shades, could be my Cosby doc, it could be my doc about mixed race kids, 1000% Me, could be my Substack. Like, so I really feel like, and also people look to me to be like, okay, come out, great, everything's bad. What do I do? In a way that like puts a lot of pressure on me. Like people want me to tell them what to do, but also keeps me sort of with a handful of resources at all times, being like, here's the things I would recommend you do. So like, I think that it is, you know, I'm in my latter years of Dick Gregory era, which is a good place to be, but I haven't quite gotten to the chemtrails part yet.
It's on the way though, definitely, yeah.
I'm sure it's on the way.
Yeah, well, I mean, but that is true though. You have done so many different things. You almost have like a Rolodex of those different experiences. I mean, in United Shades, that's funny that's the one that everybody points out is that one, the KKK, because you did so many amazing episodes, including coming to Portland.
Twice.
Twice.
Portland was so nice, we had to go there twice.
Well, I mean, coming back, you know, what's it going to be like coming back here into Portland? Like, what are you expecting? And because, you know, there's a lot that's happened here too over the last few years.
I've been there a couple times actually since we did United Shades. Like I find my way to Portland every now and again, so I sneak in and just sort of poke around. So I've seen some things. I was actually there with my kids, 2 of my kids. I was on I don't know what they were. I was on something I was doing. I brought 2 of my kids with me, and we were in downtown Portland. And we got to see what downtown Portland's up to. At least at that point, like a year ago, it's pretty moist and spicy down there. Like pretty. And here's the thing: I live in Oakland, so I'm not unused to that. But I can sort of compare it to what it had been before. And then I also know, oh, I bet this is making the liberals real tense about homelessness and crime. When really, as I know from doing episodes of the United States, this is systemic issues that are causing this. But I'm sure it is making people real salty about the people and not salty about the systems.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely huge discussions here. It has, I would say, it's definitely gotten better over the last year or so. There's a lot of improvements that have happened, but yeah, it is what it is.
Portland to me is always like, I feel like, and I mean this in the best way possible. It's, I don't know if it's a sister city of the Bay Area, but it's very much like the things that happen in Portland are also happening in the Bay Area. They're just happening in different ways. So, so I feel it's fun to go back to Portland because I feel like they treat me like a cousin. Like, even though they know I'm going to yell at them a little bit, but they're like, we probably deserve it.
That's because, I mean, probably most people here do have a cousin who lives in the Bay Area or somewhere in California.
Or they moved from the Bay Area, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's all related. Well, for people coming out, let me ask you this, just because this is something that people want to know. What can they expect from a Kamau Bell show here in 2025 in Portland?
I'm here to call balls and strikes. I'm here to call it as I see it. I'm here to give people homework and point people to some resources. Every city I go to, because of the money I made on Celebrity Jeopardy, we got $1 million. We're doing matching donations for schools in that area. So if you come to the Portland show, we'll give you a QR code where you can donate to Donors Choose, and we'll match it with some of my Celebrity Jeopardy money. So, and also people can expect to it's like to sort of have a moment to relax and to laugh about these things we're going through that there's no jokes about, but also to sort of connect and laugh about things like my family and things. So it's not all politics, it's not all family, and it's not all homework, and it's not all catharsis, but it's a little bit of all those things. So, I think that it's, one of my greatest compliments I got that I heard was at a show I did in Portland years ago. And so I hope to keep doing this, where two friends apparently walked out. I heard this later. And one friend said, that was the best comedy show I've ever seen. And the other friend said, what are you talking about? That was the worst comedy show I've ever seen. I'm still doing that. I'm still breaking up friends. So come to the Portland show at the Aladdin Theater. Kamau will break up your friendship.
There you go. There's the tagline right there. Awesome. Well, I want to go back to really quick. One thing you said there about the matching donations thing, that's amazing. So how does that feel, not only being a Celebrity Jeopardy champ, but also getting to do that and to help out people?
I mean, here's the thing. It's funny, Celebrity Jeopardy, it's not like I did it out of the kindness of my heart, because it's just Celebrity Jeopardy. I want to be clear. I picked the organization that I believe in, Donors Choose. I'm on the board of directors. But on Celebrity Jeopardy, you're not allowed to keep the money. So I don't want people to think I'm too Kamau gave away $1 million. Had they let me keep it, I'd have kept a lot of it. I got 3 kids. We're paying rent in Oakland. But anyway, having said all that, it feels good to have a career that also can do some good, especially at this moment. That's how I was raised. My dad sold insurance. My mom edited textbooks. They still found ways to do good with the work they were doing in the Black community and in their community. So to me, it feels like an extension of my family. So, and especially right now, it feels like if those of us who have platforms, if you're not saying something, then you're saying everything by saying nothing. So for me, and I'm not expecting everybody to be as political as I am, but everybody could use some help right now. And supporting public schools should not be a political act. It should be an act of American patriotism. All kids should have everything they need, should have everything they want and need for the school day. It should not be based on how much money your school can get from property taxes. And so for me, even I, who will call Trump everything but a child of God, believes that supporting schools is just the right thing to do. It has nothing to do with politics.
Yeah, that should never be a political statement, in any way, shape, or form. I mean, but talking, just the last thing I'm going to bring up here too, just, you, I think, with your platform, but also just, I think, comedy right now, like stand-up comedians or storytellers or whoever wants to quantify themselves as whatever that may be. I think now is one of the most important times for that to be out there, for people to go into something like that, because as you mentioned, saying things that maybe people don't know how to put into words. But to me, I feel like this is a prime opportunity and a prime time for necessity to have that kind of thing happening, stand-up comedy and things like what you're doing. I don't know, do you feel that way, or does it, I don't know how you feel on your end of things?
Yeah, there's a motorcycle out here. I want to make sure. Anyway, I think that the interesting times always call for interesting people to make it more interesting. So, and I think the history of American stand-up comedy is that our most celebrated comedians are generally the ones who had something to say when something needed to be said. So it doesn't mean that you have to say things, but like if you look at like when we talk about our Mount Rushmore of comedians, it is always like a Lenny Bruce, George Carlin, Richard Pryor, Chris Rock, like Kinnison, Dave Chappelle. Like there's the Mount Rushmore always ends up with people who have something to say, and I sort of feel like I stand in the giant footsteps of like people like that, but also Margaret Cho and Wanda Sykes. So I'm not saying you can't have nothing to say. You can be a comedian who just, tells fun jokes. I have no problem with that. But you should also be using your platform to do something good for somebody else. And again, 9 times out of 10, it doesn't have to be about a political party. It can be about donate to the soup kitchen. So, so I think that like it is a time for people with interesting things to say to be as interesting as possible. Greg, I was just in therapy about an hour ago, which is why I'm in Berkeley right now. So I want you to know that. We're friends. I can share that with you. And I just said, and I told my therapist, his name's Cliff. I said, I just feel like I have to say something right now, or else I'm lying to myself about what the world is calling for, what America's calling for. If I don't call balls and strikes, if I don't get loud when I feel like I need to get loud, then I'm actually lying to myself. And I'm also doing the even worse thing. I'm saying, my family will be fine. We've all got our passports. We're friendly people. We'll be able to get out of here. And that's what I don't want to do. I don't want to be a person who thinks I'll be fine, so I'll let everybody else drown.
I can't imagine you ever being that person anyway. So
that's not how I was raised. I think my mom and dad, who don't agree on anything, would both agree on disowning me if I was acting like that.
Well, June 28th, you're going to be here. People can come out, go see you. And I mean, and you're on tour a number of different places too, outside of that. So however people are watching this, they can go check it out. And man, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you, the family.
I'm happy for you. You think you got a real job now.
I know.
Every time I see you was in like a loft in an abandoned office park. But look at you. You got insurance now, buddy? I hope so.
I do. Yeah, that's part of the reason. I actually do have insurance. I know.
I'm happy for my friend. I'm happy to see my friend succeed. Look at you're indoors. You got your hair's grown. You got a nice haircut. I'm proud of you. You got a shirt with buttons. Look at you, man.
I know. I can fake it really, really well. That's the main thing. But yeah, I know, and I have to be here on a certain time. Yeah, it's weird, but it works out. It works out. All right. Well, Kamau, thank you, man. I'm just happy to see you. Happy that you're going to be coming here through Portland, and just for everything that's going on for you. And
Thanks,
you're a
Greg.
Celebrity Jeopardy champ. I'm going back to that. Damn.
I might try to bring the trophy. We'll see what happens.
Oh, you got to. You got to walk out on stage with that. You need a belt.
Yes. All
right, awesome. Man. All right. I really hope Kamau gets a belt for that. You have to come out with that if you are the champion of Celebrity Jeopardy. All right. And again, Kamau Bell will be in town June 28th at the Aladdin Theater. So you can go see him live in person there and check out everything else there on his website. Thank you to him for joining the show. And thanks to you for watching. Again, this is Fox 12 now. We cover a wide range of topics here throughout the afternoon. So between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m., I pop on to our live stream. And we cover, like I said, all kinds of things. But one of the most important things, too, is that if there's breaking news, this is the place to go. I will be here with that, whatever that is that could be affecting your lives here in the Northwest, in the Portland area, in our viewing area, which is huge. And we will bring that to you, should that happen. So just remember that this is the place to go to for that, whatever platform you are watching on. But we're going to take a break. We'll be right back at 2 p.m. I'll talk to you then. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.